Hello and welcome to today's live. Today I want to talk about the word devotion. Devotion is it's a big word. It's got three syllables. Devotion. No, I'm teasing. What does it mean? I love this sunset back there. Isn't that a beautiful picture? I don't think I took it. I might have. I don't know. I have a library of tens of thousands of pictures that I just use for backgrounds. Devotion, sorry for that noise. Devotion is important. A life without devotion is empty. If there's nothing that we're devoted to. So I want you to think about your life right now for a minute. If someone says, "What are you devoted to?" What would you say? Like, what immediately springs to mind? Something you're devoted to. And devoted, I don't define it any way you want to. Devoted, it's really important. What does it mean to you? List some words. Really important, worth sacrifice, worth spending money on, worth spending time on, worth using your TAL beam. And if you don't know what a TAL beam is, I'll tell you, it is your time, attention, and love beam. You know that's all you have? You only have your time, attention, and love beam. That's it. Nothing else in the world matters except that. Everything is created from your time, attention, and love, because what you pay attention to, that grows and develops. If you pay attention to bad habits, they grow and develop. If you pay attention to reading things and learning, that develops. If you pay attention to personal development, it grows. So wherever you put your time, attention, and love, that grows, and that's all you have. There's the idea, and I love this idea, that you call into existence every part of your experience. Wow, what a mind-blowing thought. You mean I asked for all this? And people sometimes misinterpret that and think that when something bad happens to them, bad, defined some way, they didn't want it, I guess, that somehow they called this terrible experience into their life. The event itself might have been the result of an act of nature or someone else's carelessness or anything else. So it's not like you said to the universe, "Hey, send me this problem." Now, there's a God, and God has created this life to work and to struggle and to suffer and to move through things. But you know what? How we live it, how we experience these things is our choice. And I know you've heard that before, but it's real. And I had an experience this morning I want to share with you. And that is this. There's some things that I still work on always, right? I'm always working on something. And there's 2 or 3 or 4 things every day. I'm working on this. I'm working on this. Why? Not because I have to, not because somebody told me to, but because I am a guy who likes to work on himself. Because I choose to be. So I am. And I'm getting coached and getting helped and, led and taught about these things. So devotion, that's one thing I'm devoted to. I'm devoted to personal growth. I'm devoted to the time, energy, and work it takes to be a better person. What does better mean? More at peace with myself. One of the things I have in my PTAC, my personal truth statement, is I am that I have no internal conflict or withholding in my beingness. So love and truth are manifest through me and miracles appear. What the heck does that mean? Well, have you ever felt like, okay, I want to do this, but I should do that, or I'm supposed to do this, or, all of that kind of stuff? Have you had those feelings? Maybe you live that way, where there's conflict all the time. You should be doing this and that. I don't know what to do. I have different clients. I don't know which thing to do first. What if you lived without that? No internal conflict. Wow. Well, you know what? You can. I didn't know you could until I figured out how to do that. It didn't come in an Amazon box. It came by deciding what things were truly important and then focusing my time, attention, and love on those things. That's it. And by doing that, I was able to get to a place today where I live with no internal conflict. Another thing I've heard people say all the time, not all the time, frequently, well, I can't be myself. The world couldn't handle me if I was my true self. Well, I don't know what that means. I used to think it was funny. Now it just makes me sad, because that means a person either thinks that they're so different or something that they would be an outcast. And maybe the answer is, so what? Maybe that's who you need to be to attract your tribe. And I'm not telling you what to do. But when I say there's no withholding in my beingness, I've finally learned that, not because I've gotten 66 and so I don't care. Funny thing, I have an Einstein meme, an Einstein poster on the wall with a bunch of quotes. And he says, I've gotten to the age where if someone tells me to wear socks, I don't have to. Right? And sometimes when people get older, it's like you don't care anymore what people think. Well, it isn't that. I've learned that what people think is none of my business. I don't really care. I love you anyway. You listening to this right now, you here, I love you. What do I mean by that? It means that I care about who you're being. I care about your life and your suffering. I care about your pain. I care about your growth. I know you're a divine child of God. I know you have the opportunity to be and do anything you want. So my devotion that I wanted to talk about is just to ask two questions and then make a statement. My first question is, do you know what you're devoted to? If you made a list, I'm devoted to, could you write 2 or 3 things down that you are really devoted to? And as you wrote them down, would you weep? Would there be an upwelling of emotion, of commitment, of yes, I am, and I'm going to do this? Would that be there? Because that's one way to know the depth of your devotion. If every time you think about a particular thing that you're devoted to, you just feel that recommitment, that tells you you're really devoted. So number 1, do you know what you're devoted to? And number 2, do you measure or keep track of in some way that devotion turns into time, attention, and love, right? Because your time, attention, and love is the only way something grows. So if I say I'm devoted to something, but I don't spend time, attention, and love on it, I'm not really devoted, right? I'm just talking about it, maybe to make myself feel good, maybe because somebody said I should or whatever. Are you devoted to something? Can you list 2 or 3 things that you're really devoted to? And if you look at your time, attention, and love, do they correspond? So that's the 2 questions. And the frame for that is the ultimate life, a life of purpose, prosperity, and joy that you create or I create by serving with your divine gifts. Now, that's a beautiful place to be, and I live there. I finally, through all the struggles, and if you don't know the stories, I just saw a video of a beautiful client of mine who I love dearly that she made, and it was talking about part of her journey, and it was beautiful, it was powerful, and it told her story about determination and courage to learn to do something difficult at a time in her life when that would have been considered maybe silly or dangerous or both or whatever. She did it anyway. She was committed. So are you committed? Are you devoted to something? And is that thing you're devoted to bringing you purpose, prosperity, and joy? Because the ultimate life, where you love every day and you're excited and every day is fun and just gratitude filled, is available to you right here, right now. That's all I do. My commitment this year is to help 10 million people. I'd like you to be one of them. 10 million people to discover, to develop, and to serve with their divine gifts, to live, to move closer to living that ultimate life. If I can help you, please let me know. If I have helped you in any way, let me know. I love the comments that I get where people say, oh, this is really inspiring or helps or something. But I'd also like to know how it helped you. What's changed because of that? So those are the 2 questions. And the third thing was my devotion. So my devotion is to that goal of 10 million people. I was on a podcast the other day when somebody told me, you've already reached that. Easily. You've helped way, with the ripple effect. People who talk to people, whatever, way more than 10 million. First time anybody said that to me, and I felt really good. I hadn't really thought about it. I was thinking, how do I get there? And I've got 4 months left, September, October, November, December. I've been working on this goal for a while, but 10 million is a big number. But I'm going to help 10 million people, and I'd like your help. So if I help you in any way, please tell me. And if I can help you in any way, please tell me. To discover, to develop, and serve with your divine gifts. The ultimate life of purpose and prosperity and joy is right there at your fingertips. It's yours to have today, if you're willing to walk the path that goes there. Devotion. That's today's topic. I love you. We'll see you tomorrow.